Professional athletes get paid way too much for playing a game that they love and enjoy doing. Professional athletes do not get an education, has an earlier retirement, and entertains people for a living. I agree that athletes should be paid for what they do. It's not easy, but the pay compared to the jobs that are more important is ridiculous. Education for students versus education for pro athletes. The MLB requires no college. Basketball players only have to attend 1 year of college before going to the NBA. Football players have to attend a college the longest before going to the NFL, which is 3 years. Although athletes are required some education before going pro, it isn't much. They get the help they need to get through it, and it honestly doesn't even matter whether they pass or fail or even get any form of education while they are there. While doctors and surgeons have to go through so much more schooling and have to go through so many hard classes on their own without any kind of help because they have really important jobs, even though their jobs are most important, they do not receive anywhere near the pay that a professional athlete receives. A doctor or surgeon has to attend at least 8 years of school or more. A teacher nowadays has to attend 4 years and does not even get the pay that they should. Their pay does not even compare to a doctor's, and teachers are what students rely on to get their education to get a good job. Retirement. Retirement for a professional athlete is a whole lot earlier than the average person. The average person retires at about the age of 70. The average professional athlete career is usually over by the age of 33. Professional athletes have earlier retirement because their body grows older and they are not able to perform like they once could. They use the excuse that athletes do need to be paid more because they have earlier retirement, but after retirement they could work just like everyone else. And what they get paid for should last them a lifetime. I agree that it isn't easy being a professional athlete. In fact, they work really hard. They grind every single day and have no days off. Yes, they are being put at risk, but firefighters, the Army, and police are risking their lives to save others. The least amount an athlete can be paid in the NBA is $500,000 for the player who sits on the bench and don't get a minute of playing time. So these people are getting paid more than a doctor or surgeon a year for attending a practice every day for a game that they love. While doctors and surgeons are put through the pressure and stress of saving people's lives, teachers who are responsible for giving kids an education that they need for their future to earn a living isn't anything compared to even a doctor, and these guys are still getting paid more than triple the money for playing a game that they love and enjoy doing. Michael Jordan, the highest paid athlete in a single year, which was $78.3 million, an outfielder from the Yankees and a catcher from the Mets that each make about $90 million over 7 years. The average hockey player makes more than $1.3 million per prospect season. The sad news is these guys are underpaid. The reasons for these athletes being paid so much is because these athletes have amazing skills that are incredibly rare. They do things routinely that some of us could never dream of doing. A cashier, a cleaner, and an office clerk who are only making anywhere from $11,000 to $18,000 a year. There's a huge difference in these amounts. Our president who runs the entire country is only paid about $400,000 a year. A professional athlete can be paid more than a firefighter who pulls people out of fires and saves lives. The first year being a firefighter, you are only paid about $23,000 a year. Doctors and surgeons that cure people from cancer and diseases and perform surgeries that they could die from only make $200,000 a year. They make more than the soldiers that fight for our country and our freedom for our lives. The pay that a professional athlete receives is ridiculous compared to the other jobs. The sad thing is most of these athletes are underpaid. We are the ones that also pay these athletes for what they do. Don't get me wrong, professional athletes do deserve a decent living, but they are not worth millions and millions of dollars a year. People who have more important jobs should earn a pay just as much as professional athletes. It's a game and entertainment for people more important than your life and your safety. To me, safety in my life is much more important than any kind of game.